New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country.
Staten Island parking lot is drawing attention for being the final resting place for what's estimated to be more than 1,000 black people, including enslaved Africans. At first glance, the New York Borough parking lot looks normal. There are several businesses sitting on the corner of Forest and Livermore Avenue. But as is most often the case, beneath the surface lies a more interesting story. According to historians, the lot is the location of the only black burial ground on Long Island North Shore from 1850s to early 20th century and is the final resting place for generations of black people, a fact that is not hidden, but one that many locals are still surprised to learn. Quote, "This was specifically for African American people. Some were slaves, some were descendants of enslaved peoples, some were family, some were African American residents who never knew slavery." Asbury African Methodist Episcopal Church and Cemetery were originally built on the land in the mid-1800s before the cemetery lands were deeded over to African Methodist Church Cemetery of Staten Island organization by the Second African Methodist Episcopal Church of Staten Island back in 1929. The city of Staten Island took possession of the cemetery, which was missing headstones since as early as 1913. In 1950, due to 11,768 owed in back taxes. It was sold in 1953 to Sidell Mann of the Bronx, and the land, as well as its history, has continually been developed over since the 1980s. The development was processed by Friends of Abandoned Cemeteries of Staten Island, which is FACSI. However, the developer maintained that there were no human remains found at the location. The city of New York also denied the existence of legal cemeteries, although several documents, including death certificates, burial records, and property maps, exist proving the legal or otherwise a cemetery existed on the property. This known man born into slavery on Staten Island, Benjamin Pern, is one of the great numbers of those whose remains have been paved over in the lot, and his great-great-great-grandchildren's siblings, Ruth Ann Hills and Davis Thomas, who still live in the area, are heartbroken to know so many have been forgotten. Quote, "It breaks my heart. It's personal to me." Yes, it is, and I think it should be recognized that there are people that are there, my family members. With historians, activists, organizations, and documentarians shedding more light on this burial ground's existence, efforts are growing to preserve its legacy. Quote, "About knowledge that that place is there, knowledge that that place exists, and knowledge that those people that's there have value." Stated by Robert Perkins, the first black man to become district leader of Staten Island North Shore, who is working to put the cemetery back on the map. Quote, "The truth of the matter is it needs to be spoken about and something needs to be done about it. We're walking around eyes wide shut and it's right there. It just makes me think. It makes me shudder to think, but also excited to wonder what else is buried out there." All right, the main thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is the amount of lies that they like to tell. This was a burial ground specifically for black people, and due to the delinquency of course, us not being able to afford certain things because of how they like to, put up the prices for everything. You had $11,700+ that was left there that they had no possibility of being able at that time to pull together the money in order to keep that burial ground for us. So that burial ground ended up going through a variety of hands to the point where it was given to the reflective minority, and they then decided to turn it into a parking lot or develop the area or what have you. Knowing the fact that it was previously a cemetery, knowing the fact that you have um, a lot of history there, meaning a lot of black family members, a lot of bodies that have never been exhumed, certain bodies that didn't even have a gravestone directly to them. So you have a lot of unknown people that are there at this moment in time, and more than likely, we won't be able to ever find out who these people are. The only thing that can transpire is that we are able and allowed to give them the proper burial that they should have gotten, because at no point in time has their bodies ever gotten any rest, because they've always had something over them moving. So, even in death, they still have to deal with a variety of instances of noise and whatever else. And like I said before, just pay attention to the lies. If they're willing to lie to you directly to your face and tell you that no, a cemetery for black folks does not exist here, no bodies of any Africans or descendants even existed here, and no, anything that you feel that existed here never, if they're willing to literally lie to you about this, and this is not even like a major plot of land, this is not even a major area. Just think about the cities and the towns that black people have had, that black people have created, that they've decided to tell those exact same lies about. Like, oh, this is just a beautiful lake here. It's been here, ever since forever. And then you find out that it's a man-made lake that they put there in order to bury evidence of a black town or a city that is there. Or it was a lake or a pond that was put in place to cover up a lot of the atrocities and a lot of the bodies, right, of the black people, that of lives of which they took, and they needed somewhere to hide it. So it was like, hey, let's just build a pond here. Nobody will know. Like I said before, they lie about everything. They literally lie about everything. And here's just further proof of that. Like I said, no other group of people on this planet has to go through the same things that black people have to go through. Nobody. People can always state that, oh, they go through racism, they go through bigotry and discrimination. That's great. But the types, the situations that black people have to go through and face, especially when it deals with our history, when it deals with our people, nobody else has to go through this. And it's not even up for a debate. Like I said before, I said what I said. Nobody else has to go through this. And like I keep telling y'all, in order to alleviate a lot of these things, like this was done in the past. I completely understand that. But at this moment in time, we need to stop having our people mixed in with everybody else. We need to have our own sites that we can go to and just have our people there resting just in that energy, in that calmness, undisturbed, so that they don't have to worry about later on if their bodies are going to be exhumed improperly, or if they're going to be moved, or if the people who own the sites, the grounds, if they're going to decide to quote unquote actually put the body there versus burning up the body, which they're not supposed to be doing. Like I said, there's a variety of things that transpire, and a lot of these things could be alleviated if we as a people, as a community, will put a lot of the things that we deal with and go through on a day-to-day basis with each other. If we would just slide that to the left real quick so that we can focus on everything else that's more important that we actually need to focus on, we can alleviate a lot of these situations and these issues and these obstacles. I promise you. But the real thing is, do black people really want to put in the work in order to do it? Do black people really want to get their hands dirty? Do black people really want to have a little bit of a hardship, in order to start this up and then prosper after that hardship? Like I said, it's just like a harvest. You're going to have a winter, but even though you know that you're going to have a winter and that you might lose a lot, you can still prepare and get ready for that spring, for that next summer. Like I said before, everything is a cycle. And in order to survive through a lot of cycles, you just have to prepare. Everything is all about preparation. When you prepare for stuff, you're not really going to lose. You might sit up there and take a little bit, collateral here and there, but you're not going to lose. And that's my main point. But to make every other black person out here understand that and see that, that seems like almost the most impossible task to do at this moment in time. And it's crazy, and it just shouldn't even be like that. But hopefully with this story, a lot of other people out here will understand that the global minority likes to lie a lot when it comes to black history. This is, like I said before, this is the reason that they don't want to teach a lot of this stuff directly in the school system, because it's going to make people look at them sideways, as which they should, because they've been doing a lot of jacked up stuff for the longest time and nobody's decided to talk about it. But everything that is placed in darkness will soon enough come to light. And this, which has been placed in darkness for centuries, is now coming to light. And there's going to be even more things just like this, if not more, that's going to follow suit. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.